Not all homes are easy to sell, and smart buyers, they know exactly what to avoid. So whether you are house hunting or prepping your property for the market here in San Diego, there are types of properties that raise some serious red flags. I'm Heather Myers, your go-to realtor here in San Diego County, and I help people just like you buy and sell their homes every day. I've also lived in San Diego my entire life, and I have seen buyers and sellers make some pretty painful mistakes. So here are 6 types of properties. Actually, there's a bonus one too that you need to know about. The first type of home that I need to warn you about is a home that has some major deferred maintenance. These are properties where the roof is sagging, the HVAC is 25 years old, the windows are original, maybe the plumbing hasn't been touched since the 70s. Yeah, you'll find these types of homes all over San Diego County, even in charming neighborhoods. The problem, salty air and time do a number on homes. If the roof, plumbing, or electrical work have not been updated, you could be walking into a money pit, especially if it's listed as is. Okay, so here's what I want you to do instead. Look for a home that has documented upgrades. Documents for things like a new HVAC system, a new roof, a new sewer line. By the way, a new roof can cost you anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000. So if it says as is, just know that you're on the hook for all of the repairs and upgrades. If you're not afraid of a fixer-upper though, we're not only going to bring in an inspector, but several specialists to make sure that you know exactly what you're buying. A little due diligence now can save you $100,000 plus later. Okay, the second type of home that I need to warn you about is a home that's a flip but has cosmetic-only upgrades. So I'm talking about things like you walk in and you notice those beautiful bright quartz countertops, you notice the new cabinets, maybe the new hardware, but that never means that there's quality of work behind those beautiful fixtures. Sometimes flippers can rush these homes to the market and they skip some really important steps in the process, like getting the permits, making sure that there's no structural damage to the property, or covering up deeper issues like bad wiring, old plumbing, or structural damage. A flip, it's only as good as the contractor behind it. And sometimes that person may not be a contractor at all, just a person watching a YouTube video with a Pinterest board. These homes often have cabinets hung over unpatched drywall, floors laid without leveling the slab, HVAC systems that look new but aren't functional, and 0 permits pulled for major work. Okay, smart buyers out there, here's what we're going to do. We are going to make sure to ask for all of the permits, and it doesn't stop there. I want to see before and after photos of the work. I want to see the receipts too. I want to make sure that the work that was done properly. And we're going to bring in a top tier inspector, not just a checklist guy. I always insist on an inspector who will check the crawl spaces, the attics, and behind the walls if needed. Okay, for you sellers out there, here's what we're going to do. We are going to make sure that all of the upgrades and all of that hard work and money that you poured into your home, that it's all been documented. We may have to dig up some old receipts or make sure that we can still contact your contractor. We're definitely going to show them the permits, and we are going to make sure that the buyer feels comfortable with all of the work that you did. Because buyers are smart these days, and they know to ask these specific type of questions. What's a major red flag though? That's a property with major structural improvements. However, no permits were pulled. Now, if this is you, let's say that that's the house that you currently own and you want to sell it, don't completely panic. It is often possible to go back and retroactively put a permit into place. It's not always an easy process, but it's something that we can look into before we put your home on the market. Okay, the third type of property or type of home that I need to warn you about, it's against a major fire-prone canyon or against a brushy area that could go up in flames. And there are a lot of reasons why this is a big concern. Let's face it, we have had fires all over San Diego County, so it almost doesn't matter where you live at this point. Fires are a big concern because of California's wildfire insurance. It's getting harder and harder for people to get homeowners insurance, and when they can get it, it can often be very expensive. So this used to be something that we would ask about well after your home's in escrow. Let's just make sure that there's homeowners insurance on the property. That has all changed. It's one of the very first steps that we take to find out, is the property insurable and exactly what that monthly payment will be. The fourth type of home or property that I need to warn you about, it's a home on a golf course. Now you're thinking, what's wrong with owning a home with a beautiful golf course view? Well, the problem is, what happens if that golf course goes under? Maybe the owner of the golf course sells off the property and suddenly they build high-rise condos right behind your home. Think I'm making this up? This has happened many times in San Diego County. Let me show you some examples. In Carmel Mountain Ranch, that country club shut down and became a construction zone. All of the homeowners used to have beautiful backyard views of a lush green golf course. Now they have condos built right up to their backyards. These homes used to look out and see a gorgeous country club. This is their view now. And this is sadly becoming more and more common. When golf courses shut down, they tend to look awful for several years. Then a developer comes in and oftentimes builds high density housing. But if you're interested in that open space, let's not buy against a canyon. I just told you that that could be risky, but we do want to make sure that you are maybe able to overlook preserved land or an area that will never be developed. Number 5 in my list of warning you about potential disasters when it comes to purchasing or selling a property here in San Diego County, that's getting into a property with an HOA that is disastrous. And there are some questions that you need to ask ahead of time to make sure that you don't enter into that situation. So here's what you're allowed to do. You're allowed to see the books of the HOA and to ask for those reserves while you're in escrow, and they have to provide it to you. Ask for the CC&Rs, ask for the minutes of their latest meetings. Let's see what they've been talking about. So here's what I want you to look out for: lawsuits, underfunded reserves, deferred maintenance on roofs or roads, constant fee increases, or surprise assessments. These issues can tank your resale value and cause ongoing frustration. Don't just fall in love with the pool and the clubhouse. Let's see what's going on behind the scenes of the HOA and if it's something that you want to get involved in. Number 6, it's new construction. I know you're thinking, what's wrong with buying new construction? You have to be careful buying new construction for a number of different reasons. And one of those reasons is that oftentimes these developers, they will cut your real estate agent out of the deal. Brand new homes are tempting: modern design, clean finishes, builder warranties. But here's the trick. Some developers will not let you use your own agent, and others won't pay your agent unless you bring them on your first visit. And even then, sometimes they won't. That means you're navigating complex contracts, upgrade traps, and unclear timelines, all while being guided by someone who works for the builder. They don't work for you. And I've heard of instances where builders here in San Diego force you to use their agents to sell your current home too, or you don't get priority to buy in their new development. So a lot of buyers, when they're getting new construction, they don't realize that they are giving up their representation. They are giving up that person who's going to fight for them, look through their contracts for them, make sure that they're getting the upgrades that they paid for, and also make sure that they are getting a solid home as they're buying their new construction. There's a serious lack of legal protections when you don't have an agent representing you. Do some serious research on the developer too of your newly constructed home. There are some excellent developers and there are some with less than stellar reputations. Okay, I mentioned that I would give you 6 different types of homes and properties that I needed to warn you about here in San Diego, but here's a bonus one too, and I have a personal story to go along with this one. Be careful buying a home that backs up to or is on a very busy road. You'll be surprised by how many people are sensitive to road noise. We had a listing here in San Diego County. It was a great home. It was a perfect price, but buyer after buyer came through it. And the first thing that they said no to was the road noise behind the home. So here's what you're able to do. If you own a home that's on a busy street or backs up to a major highway or busy road, sellers, I would invest in dual pane windows. Yeah, they can be expensive, but it will be worth it for the buyers who potentially walk through your home and want to buy. Once they realize that your home is relatively soundproof inside, they may be more eager to pay you top dollar for it. So by avoiding the common pitfalls that I just told you about, this will preserve your lifestyle, your finances, and of course, your long-term investment. By the way, if you have any questions about buying or selling in San Diego County, or you need someone to guide you through the process, hey, don't be afraid to reach out. Also, if you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button. I'm Heather Myers. I'm your go-to realtor here in San Diego County, and I follow the housing market so you don't have to.